All right, hello everybody. Welcome to a live race between Amarith and Kiebs. They're about to start soon, and Structural Mike has joined me on comms. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
It's me, Mike.
To me, no.
Thanks for having me. I love this tournament. It's great.
So we're gonna do our best.
This.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to follow what's happening on Amarith's screen. There's something weird about her stream that's not working properly, but as long as we can see like the tracker in every fifth frame, we'll be able to figure out what's going on. I'm not sure why I'm getting this like text on the window, but
hopefully.
Oh, it's like really
at least Kiebs is on their way with the Obscura as the mentor. So this is exciting. This is the first week where we have no starting sword. How are we going to handle this enormous obstacle? Is the main problem. And Kiebs is just gonna go uncle routing immediately after scouting the island.
I'm not sure what's going on Amarith's side. Apparently has started the race.
They're a bit behind
Yeah.
in our time frame.
We can use the timer to kind of estimate what's going on here. But it does appear that the stream itself is actually behind by a bit, so there's not much I can do to fix it. Maybe it will skip ahead.
We'll see. We'll see.
Could just be that she has bad internet. If the audio keeps cutting out, then I'll put on background audio. Kiebs' audio is not clean.
Yeah. Oh, you've got the moon pearl in sack. Easy. Now the entire world is open to us, as it should. And Amarith is going ahead and checking that uncle. The other uncle. The eastern uncle.
Look, some of us have big families, okay?
Oh, and a bit of a trouble there. You can't stand too close to a wall to bonk it. Get a blue potion.
Yeah, you gotta get a bit of a running start. The blue potion's nice. It's not the bottle that you need for Sick Kid, because that's just free, but the blue potion itself can be used for a lot of shenanigans, including staying alive.
Staying alive might be a serious issue here in the early game. But I imagine our runners want to fake flute to the Dark World areas to get some good routing in.
Wow, we already see a swim clip from Amarith.
Oh, I love these.
Early back of escape play, which is one of those things that could elude you if the glove is late and give you a huge advantage. But unfortunately, bonks out the wrong way. There's an easier way, in my opinion, to do it if you do it from a lower end and actually bounce upward. But some people learn it from the top, and that's what they know. I'm assuming that's what Krellball knows because Breadcoon, who's kind of friends with this little group of them, also does it that way. So they probably all learn from each other. Amarith seems to be going back for it. Really leaning on this play here.
Yeah, we gotta double down on this play. Make it worth. Pull 2 gloves in the back, hopefully.
2 gloves.
Kiebs is going to CAC. I like it. You have no sword. The mountain is scary. You go to CAC, get your shit.
Yeah, when you don't start with the sword, it's easy to just get a false sense of security doing the plays you've been making in weeks 1 and 2.
Absolutely. That was the first thing I learned. Swordless. Dying to dead rocks on East Death Mountain over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great. Learned very quickly that I need to watch my step up there. And I don't think you mentioned that we got a hammer in Bonk Rocks. So hammer, Moonpearl, Magic Cape. I'm not sure that matters. Unless it's an Agasade somehow. So, Malma, what opening route do you prefer in Like no sword start?
No sword start. I like to still go up the mountain, but I'll usually clip off of it, only because I'm comfortable with Graveyard Ledge. If you're not comfortable with Graveyard Ledge, you should probably just avoid the mountain entirely. So House Relay Opener is always a solid play. Lets you do 3 checks for basically free, and get a little bit more chance to have something going into Kakariko. Going into Kakariko too early when you don't have resources can be a bit of a bummer, but you don't need that much. Like these bombs that Amarith got from the tree pole, plus 50 rupees is good enough for the basic checks.
Yeah, I learned a very nice setup to get the Graveyard Ledge without a sword from Crithel. So that's it. I understand that route completely. That's very nice.
And it's funny you should mention that. I learned that from Crithel literally like 30 minutes ago. So you only have to buffer in twice, and then you just dash off and hold the direction. It's very easy.
Exactly. It's brilliant.
I still do it my way just because like the slowdown from dashing off can get you wrecked by cabbages. But if you're not like really fast at buffering, that's almost always going to be the best way for you to do it. Okay. Even with a sword, it's still good. It's the same clip. With or without a sword, you just have a little bit more risk of tinking against a cabbage on the way down.
Yeah, the cabbages can be nasty.
Unfortunately, we've lost Amarith entirely.
Well, see you stream. Kiebs is still going strong. We're gonna get a clip here into the desert area. And I don't know about you, but I've come to despise the desert in OWG glitches. You go in there early, you spend an hour in there, it feels like. You get nothing for it. But maybe you get a fire source and you just clean up Landmo immediately.
Oh, apparently this is actually a lot worse than I thought. It's a computer crash on Amarith's side, which means that progress in the game would have been lost as well. I think she was in the Lost Woods when the stream cut out, or in Kakariko Village, so I think she would just have to go back to get the hammer and do some other stuff.
Yeah. Maybe that explains why the stream was so unstable to begin with.
Yeah,
there was an incoming VSOD.
Hopefully that just like, you know, it's like when you're sick and you take care of being sick and then you're not sick anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It feels great to just, you know, start fresh.
Have a good pass out on the couch and 2 hours later you're feeling better. Maybe that's what her computer's doing right now. Saying, I've had enough. I've had enough of these glitches. Computer crashes in solidarity. Meanwhile, Kiebs going into desert, finding a heart piece here. I didn't really look at what the other items were. If we've seen...
I think we still only saw...
Oh,
yeah, that's the second one.
So we got both items.
Magic.
Yeah, very nice.
That's not too bad.
That means that...
already? Can use it?
Desert we can just get later with a mirror or on its own. There's no incentive to go back early now. Doing it only when it's convenient.
So what does an early hammer do for us in this mode?
In overall glitches, it gives you East Death Mountain access. Oh, we have the Moon Pearl. Early hammer just gives you like better Thieves Town. You can actually kill blind, which we couldn't do without. So it basically gives you what it would give you in no glitches, except that you already have overworld access everywhere. So it's just what it does in dungeons that matters. Right now,
route the Dark World slightly better.
Yeah, and then right now it's big. I think its biggest function right now is a weapon. It's our only weapon besides bombs. So Kiebs will just have it out all the time for killing enemies and such. Moldorm can be killed if it's not fire locked.
I think the biggest reason actually to go to the mountain is that we have the cape for safety.
The cape, yeah, and half magic. Not bad.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about those dead rocks. We also have red mail. Like, we are so safe right now. And we got an ice rod. That's nice.
Ice rod is a weapon. I mean, it's not going to kill bosses, but you can kill that blue guard if it's in your way. I wonder if Kiebs knows that. Kind of looks like he doesn't. It's going for the version of the bridge clip when you have the flippers. You can just clip right through and get...
Ooh.
Looks like we're getting Amarith back soon. So forgive me if I go a little quiet while I set that up.
Alright, Amarith is back. And it appears the stream actually has the proper FPS.
Oh,
stuff,
good.
So we are going to be up and running in no time. Hopefully that hasn't dealt too much mental damage, and we'll still get a nice race here.
Sorry, there's an ad. I'm trying to figure this out. It's actually not letting me interact with it until the ad is over. Okay, we got it.
Kiebs is still gonna go for the standard non-glitched checks. Use the south world, get the minimal no matter way.
All right, we're back.
If you have enough money, you can go to Sora.
Yeah, Sora is a little bit far away though. Like, with money-wise, 300 rupees. You'd have to pretty much get another 300 for that to be viable. But the good thing about Zora and this seed specifically is very easy to get to from Catfish. You have the Moon Pearl and Mirror. You pretty much are not going to orphan that in any seed that does Catfish.
And I forgot to mention, we got the mirror on Hobo.
Oh, the mirror was on Hobo. That is a very big find, and so is that sword.
And the sword. We are set now. We can do everything we need to do.
So Amarith has lost whatever was in Kakariko and is just going back, just now retracing her steps. So she's lost about five-ish minutes of just restarting the computer, which is a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
I hate to see
the
it.
only progress that they lost was the hammer.
Yeah.
It was heading into CAC when the crash happened.
Yeah, but we also lost the time spent getting the computer back online and getting everything loaded up, so I estimate around 5 minutes because
the benefit of some people having hardware, they can run the game while the computer is crashing.
Oh, I never considered that. Wow, wait, if your computer crashes, you can just keep playing? That's so weird.
I know.
These people who are playing on Super Nintendos and stuff, like...
It's a pay-to-win concept for sure.
They should play on emulator like God intended.
Like God intended.
Yes. Intended, yes. Kiebs still short on money, but again, not an issue in a seed like this.
And a flute in Waterfall Fairy. That's... We don't have to rescue the old man the old-fashioned way. I guess.
You could... I would say it's worth activating if you haven't rescued the old man yet. Even if you have. You would mirror from Village of Outcasts otherwise, but in this case you might actually just go there. Since your access to the Dark World is on the mountain. A lot of good stuff in the light world, but I don't like to call a nice seed until I at least see a fire source. Because fire sources can be very troublesome.
Yeah, that's right. I've learned that. You want them earlier than normal non-glitch seeds, and they have a tendency to not show up. And we are not activating the flute. We are
just going up the mountain.
Going up the mountain.
It's probably about equal in time, if you're comfortable with this. you probably save enough time doing this to make up for walking to Kakariko to activate the flute and doing this backwards.
Scout Lumberjack?
Did we Scout Lumberjack? You know, Amarith might have, but we wouldn't have seen it. I feel like I saw her in that area.
Oh, with this hammer, we actually have the weird Darkwood access on Eaststead Mountain as well.
Well, that would be if it weren't for Moonpearl. Like, Moonpearl, you just click there. But you're right, that without Moonpearl, the hammer and mirror would have put it in logic. In a way that's easy to miss.
And Kiebs sees that Smokey has no fire source and nopes out of Hera.
Yep, that's actually inaccessible top of Hera for now. It's going to be a question of whether Hookshot shows up before fire. And if it does, then you're fine. But if you get the fire first, you might have to make a calculation of whether it's worth doing Hera the proper way. In case Hookshot is up there.
Surely it's not up there.
It never is.
Come on.
Wait until you see a Hookshot and Hera in HMG. That's a special one. Because
Oh, no.
then your access is usually via Meyer.
Oh dear.
What keeps doing the dash I like to see. People who aren't playing on a TV that cuts off the top of the screen can just dash straight up and see the item. Unfortunately, my cropping doesn't show it, so I actually don't know what it is. I'm going to assume it was nothing because Kiebs is going the other way.
Yeah, I do that too. Like, I don't chicken out on that. I haven't fallen yet. In 2 years, I haven't dashed into the hole.
Nice. No, that's a...
Going strong.
I keep saying that I'll stop making fun of people for dashing up the side when I fall, and I haven't fallen yet. But I did amend that to not include people whose TV cuts off the top, because people who are playing on CRTs can't actually see the item.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah,
Oh.
because the CRT, like, the screen curves at the top, and you don't really see the top. Like, have you ever played, like, Super Mario Brothers 3? And if you're playing on an emulator, you'll see this, like, weird graphic on the side of the screen. You're not supposed to see that. It's supposed to get hidden by your TV.
Wow. Alright, I'm learning things. I'm learning and having fun.
You are. This is what this tournament is all about. Talking about Super Mario Brothers 3. I thought Amarith was gonna, like, bomb clip through this wall. Technically, probably would softlock you, but maybe possible. You can certainly
I love
clip
this
there.
tiny clip.
It wouldn't be legal in this mode, but yeah, the tiny clip that Kiebs is doing is actually, I think it actually makes it safer. You don't have to deal with as many enemies going in that direction. And it definitely saves time if you're taking the mirror route to Paradox Cave.
It's great.
Amarith doing Mountain before South Shore has exactly -1 rupees, so doesn't have quite enough for Zora, but I think she could get close to it if she were to Houlihan.
We'll be delaying getting that mirror for a while. There's a hook shot in Paradox. Now we can do Hera. We can do many things.
We could do Swamp.
No.
Yes? Am I missing something?
We don't want to go into
Oh,
Swamp.
no, but we can. Sometimes I forget things like Mirror is required for Swamp, but
It's
this time we
probably a
actually have everything.
pendant.
Can still do it. Next week
yeah.
we can do Swamp with even less. You're gonna love it. You're gonna get Hookshot and Flippers, and I'm gonna say, you can do Swamp. Oh wait, you need something to kill Argus with.
Silver arrows?
Yeah, do the quick swap strat. Which is actually pretty good in HMG. If you're in there really early and have no mirror, it's quite safe. Alright, we got some nice corner pendants. I like to see Myra and Ice's pendants. Skullwood's
All the
not
more
so much.
incentive to go into Swamp then. Yeah.
Ice pendant
What's a
means... Yeah, ice pendant means we can skip glove. Mire pendant means we can skip medallion.
The flippers unlock so few things in this mode that you gotta wonder why you have them this early.
Exactly. Could be ice, though. They do logically give you access to ice, but nobody's doing pendant ice without a glove.
Yeah, exactly.
Until they have to.
Yeah, could be ice.
I think Crowbell is teaching Amarith the dash-off method, but these cabbages are just... Okay, this isn't even the dash-off method. So she doesn't have the hook shot, so she has to do it this way. Yeah, this way it's kind of hard if you don't have, like, the clean buffers. Doesn't look like she was holding the diagonal, but it worked anyway.
Oh, that worked?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Usually you're facing up when you land. Kiebs showed us the backdoor hookshot cave. You would think you need a glove for this, but hookshot cave actually has 2 doors and only one of them needs a glove.
And you can actually crawl out from underneath that rock, but you can't crawl back in.
You can. I never questioned it, but it's a little weird that you can walk out and not soft lock. Very fortunate. Otherwise, this would be
That's just how rocks work in Hyrule, you know.
I'm picturing one of those like cartoons where the rock just lifts and it's a flat piece of paper and there's some cartoon eyes under it.
Yes. Oh, is this a mirror for Amarith?
It might be, yeah. You don't just clip here to do Hylia Island. I think she already looked at Hylia Island, so this would be for the bridge. In fact, I think she might be getting instruction from Krellball, and you have the flippers, so you can just clip in. She's going for the lineup. She's going to splash in and find out she has flippers and be like, oh wait, I didn't actually need to do this. There we go.
Very nice. It's good. This is good. You don't want to miss out on the mirror for long. That would be terrible. And wait, we save quitting from Catfish on the Kiebs side?
Yeah. He already did he do Zora?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was his
I'm
chance.
surprised.
Oh no.
You could have done Sora. You could have done the East Dark World.
I wonder if you forgot. This isn't how you don't get to East Dark World that way unless you want to get really fancy with the blue potion. But
Oh, I know. I think I figured what happened. They were like, oh, we can do the whole of GT and dropped everything to do GT here.
did Catfish have
Hammer and
something?
hook shots. Or I'm wrong. Okay.
No, we're just going off the mountain.
He's gonna
This
go
is
to the
super
West
jump.
Dark World.
We're going to swamp.
Right.
This is kind of neat. I mean, maybe the
lo-
Zora skip is deliberate and it's just a time save. Like, I don't feel like doing that because it's slow. But that was your chance.
yeah.
So if there's something there, Amarith has the money for it and we'll actually get it now. Maybe get some time back from the crash. Whoa. I don't know, that Moldorm looked weird when I was dying, but I think I was just imagining it.
Also some nice bomb throws.
It's her first sword, so now she can spin speed clip.
Alright, so here's my prediction. We're gonna get 2 gloves in Swamp. For our first fire source and smithing.
Whoa, why am I getting like 20 frames per second from Amarith? That's not a good sign. I hope she routes in some save and quits in case it happens again. So yeah, the swamp play, if you're gonna go to swamp, I guess super jump is the best way to get there. When you don't have a glove. I think this might be Kiebs and Obscure just seeing the items for swamp and be like, it must have given me these for a reason. I expect to see a left side swamp play when you're doing it this early and find a compass in the first chest.
Absolutely.
I also like to see Amarith like recognizing that because she has flippers, she can take this route instead and use the water walk to check the island. I didn't realize the island hadn't been looked at yet. Perfect. Faster than doing it from Link's house.
And if something is on Sora now, that is a big boon for Amarith.
That is a potential GG, because I don't see Kiebs returning to that. He had his chance. The only way you return from that is by mirroring out of Ice Palace or something, but if you're in Ice Palace, you've already lost.
Ice Palace is an automatic loss.
Well, if it's empty.
Well, it's always empty.
It's dependent.
The map and compass in the first 2 chests in Swamp.
So...
lucky Kiebs, nothing on Sora.
Yeah, and Kiebs having basically guilt-free left side swamp clearing because map and compass have already shown up. The only thing that could really go wrong is the big keys in the back, and you have to go back in to get the chest. But this is probably worth it because you get to do diver down, save a few transitions. And if the big key is just here, then it saves time.
It's a bomb diver down, and we got 1 bomb to our name currently.
Oh gosh.
So I hope Kiebs is feeling good about this.
It's not correct. Gonna ice rod the wall here.
Bad news. Right
here. Alright. Gotta line up that pixel, and then you gotta use their ice rod. And there we go. Ice rod. Jump in the water. Oops. Ice rod doesn't work. Are we in a situation where we can't go to the back?
We have to mirror out.
I wonder if he's thinking that... Uh-oh.
Are we walking back to get a bomb?
You have the mirror, Kiebs.
No, we gotta get 1 bomb, and we're gonna finish this diver down.
Oh, the bombs are here. That's...
Yeah.
I think mirroring would have been faster.
Bombs.
Why are we leaving?
Wait.
I wonder if Kiebs is just saying, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm not sure.
Meanwhile, Amarith is going EDM.
Kiebs may have thought that walking up the stairs would. Hey, thanks for reading the Glitch Tournament winner sign. Featuring everybody except Chex Human, who has won a main Glitch Tournament. If Amarith really wanted, she could actually do Mimic Cave instead of Catfish out of the Dark World. I would even argue for starting in the Dark World here and then mirroring to Light World and then going back into the portal.
Yeah, you can check. You can even check 1 check in TR and then do Spiral Cave.
Oh, that's true.
Amarith still doesn't have Hookshot though, which was in.
So Kiebs is thinking, oh, my dive bomber setup's gone. I was thinking about setting it up again, but I'm not sure what changed. Because we need the key, but the pegs are in the right direction now.
Oh yeah.
There we go. That was a lot of time lost for running out of bombs.
And we still gotta hit the switch? No.
No, the switch is good now.
The switch is fine, yeah.
It's kind of funny that when you reload this room, the staircase acts different. You'll find this out in HMG if you're doing Hammerless Swamp. That you do that diver down with a different room state, where the room has not only been flooded, but also reloaded, and the stairs behave like water instead of like stairs.
Yeah, the stair doesn't actually load because it doesn't exist.
And it changes. The reason it matters is because you'll get the spiral stair suck coming out of Swamp, and you can't really avoid it because you can't key dash and get the spiral stair stuck avoidance when you're on shallow water. And even if you could avoid it, if there's a small key door on the other end, you'll just get stuck.
Kiebs got a very nice heart refill there in the left side swamp. No progression though, sadly.
Well, the good thing, I hate to say this, but Kiebs losing time in swamp gives a little bit of time that Amarith lost in bad luck, like bad computer luck. So we can say it's just, field. Yeah, it's just like, we can just pretend that that time loss didn't happen for both runners. I don't know if it was the full 5 minutes, but it was a certain amount of time. I'm a little bit worried about Amarith's stream acting up again, and really hope that she starts saving and quitting a lot and recognizes that her computer could crash again. Oh, yeah, see, like this. We're getting some buffering.
It's gone.
Oh, is it Gonzo?
I don't know, it's mainstream. No, it's back. I'm very nervous for
I'm so nervous.
Sake.
I really want her to be saving and quitting a lot. Maybe that first BSOD would spook her into it. Nice Moldorm. I wasn't really looking about whether Tower of Hera has an item in the basement or not, because Kiebs didn't go back to it.
No, I mean, I was too worried about the stream.
I know.
At that point.
The only thing I know is that Amarith did have the small key and unlocked the door by accident. And if the item was in there, it would actually be in the big chest, and I don't think you really come back to that, do you?
It does say on the tracker that Hera is empty.
Good. I'd like to see that. Hopefully it's actually dead and not just dead to her.
Got a nice ice rod, Argus, and a Quake medallion. Is that all we got from Swamp? We haven't checked the big chest yet. We got a bow as well, I think.
Oh, so we did get stuff here.
Bow and Quake.
Amarith looks like she's going to be doing mirror checks of Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. I think Graveyard Ledge is already done, but King's Tomb hasn't been. It also could just be another crash, which would lose Tower of Hera.
Yeah, this feels like a crash again.
Yeah, she's offline. That's not good.
That is unfortunate. Kiebs is taking that bow straight to pod. As I would too, I guess. Did we check big chests? I looked away. I don't think we did.
Are you getting
And it doesn't look like Amarith actually crashed this time. It was just the stream that
just
crashed.
the stream. All right. I think I'm going to continue with background music, just because of the frequent cutouts, and making this a lot of work for muting ads and so on. The last thing I want is an ad playing on my channel when it doesn't have to. They're not paying me for that.
Okay, so I'll be playing a breadcrumb seed, mirror for bow for something in pod,
So I take bow with a grain of salt here because there's not really that much of the bow unlocks without also having lamp. I didn't see if pod was actually bow locked. That would be the only
found
thing.
2 keys so far in the front.
So it looks like it was not bow locked. Or if it is, it's just the back. Well, and even if... Oh, that's
well, that
interesting.
bow is bow locked.
Yeah. Oh, the lamp is here. Never mind.
Oh
that
my
bow
goodness.
is everything. The bow is locked in the logic,
And
including
the
top
back.
of GT.
And the back is bow locked. So, nice. Although you didn't need to do swamp, technically. That's funny.
Why does it keep playing the ad?
And I just checked the VOD, and Kiebs did not go back for the big chest in swamp.
Yeah, what I didn't see is if the big key was even found.
The big key was in the diver down chest.
Okay. I think if you've done diver down, it's pretty... Or if you've done left side, it's pretty fair to just skip it.
I would go... It's quick to go back for the big chest. But Kiebs is doing some pretty aggressive skips. We've seen the Sora skip so far, and now the big chest in swamp. Just hope one of them doesn't bite him in the ass in the end.
I can't get this ad off screen. I guess I have to have it be visible?
I think the stream died again.
Oh, okay. So it just keeps reloading over and over again, which is so unfair. I shouldn't have to watch the ad more than once. I refuse to play into Twitch and display the ad on my stream. Oh, she's just offline again. Okay.
So what else is in pod? Shovel?
Shovel. Hey, you know, getting that before doing the South Dark World, pretty good.
That's good. Hope we find a glove so we can do some nice checks together with that shovel.
I'm assuming what Kiebs did was swamp into Hype Cave into pod. I'm not sure if Pyramid was checked. I think Pyramid would be done later.
And we can do Pyramid and Pyramid Ferry and the front of Castle.
Yeah. It might even be worth using the portal setup, even if you know the swim clip.
So I guess we like 2 items can go, Fire Rod and Samaria, realistically. When do you go to GT here?
Well, I think now is a good time. You have a fire source you can climb if the item shows up. And your go mode is probably Fire Rod and Cane, so you're probably not leaving anything behind. If you want to be extra safe, you could... Well, no, I was going to say check the Minor Medallion, but that's a pendant. Yeah, I think GT now is fine. The only thing that can really hurt you there is the Cane is locking Fire Rod in Tile Room, which is the Krellbell special.
Surely that's...
Surely Krellbell being involved in this race won't affect that at all.
Surely.
People are wondering why I'm calling that. Is we had like 3 in a row back in the day when Krellbell used to race this mode, where the chest...
That's very lucky.
The Fire Rod was in Tile Room, and somebody in that race always won by like 20 minutes because they did it and everyone else last locationed it. It's one of the worst item locations for just pure variance.
That's fascinating.
can be especially devious if the cane shows up at the top of GT.
Yeah, because you don't go back to GT for a title check anytime soon. That's just not happening yet. But we are done with pod. Does Kiebs go to GT, or do we get a Thieves Town cleanup? GT is very likely, isn't it?
I would almost consider GT to be low-hanging fruit. You do it if you feel like you're on track and ahead, but if you feel like you need to make up time, you start doing other things. But I think Kiebs can do it pretty safely. He's in a good position. Really the only big time loss being that left side swamp goof up with the bombs.
We accidentally spawned 4 Stalfos here. Oops. But we're getting through. And I forgot to see if the map chest had an item or if that was the combat or big key. We're probably going to big. Yeah, okay, vanilla big key. Easy decision. And the big question mark is, as we said, is Fire Rod and Samaria. At this point, don't want to see a glove, I think.
No. One thing that's really nasty about Fire Rod and Samaria is both of them can be in Turtle Rock. But you don't have to go very far in Turtle Rock to find out if they're there or not, especially the Samaria. I would want to go in with at least one or the other, just so that if I do find the other, I could continue and do the whole thing. The last thing you want to do is go in with nothing and find out that Fire Rod was there the whole time, but your Samaria was somewhere else, so you'll just never go back in. Another place that we could go, I think, is Thieves Town. Pretty free. But if you're doing free Thieves Town, it comes with a bunch of baggage, and that baggage being the rest of the Dark World.
Yeah. Which is quite extensive at this point. You can even get tricked into going to Mire, front of Scobwood. Lots of slow locations.
Looks like we're getting Amarith back soon.
Sort of.
Sort of.
The stream is buffering. They are in swamp.
Looks like they're following the same path that Kiebs did.
Yeah, so Amarith would pick up the bow in here and the Quake medallion. Probably go to pod and get the lamp. So too far behind.
It's not even playing the ad. It's kind of not tenable, is it? It's actually stuck. It's really weird for the ad not to be playing, because that shouldn't be coming from Amarith's screen.
Here we go. We are going into Hera. Makes sense. There's a crystal we can finish. But and we don't even need to do basement, I guess, since Amarith has shown us that. That's just a...
Amarith has just gone offline again. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably just narrate what's going on then until we know it's back. It's very unfortunate. Kiebs having a little bit of trouble with this Moldworm.
Moldworm just wants to hug. He's lonely up on the top.
It's lonely on the left.
I hope we get some interesting key logic in GT here that we can talk about. It's always fun. Gotta pay close attention since small keys can be on the right side, and if you find progression in random room,
So I don't think small
it may
keys
not be a
can
logic.
be on the right side unless the big key is also there. Is that correct? So
Exactly.
I don't know if
Well, we can have a key in tile room.
you can have a key in tile room, so it could be cane locked, but I'm not sure if one key in tile room is enough to cane lock the top of GT. I'm not really convinced that GT can ever be cane locked if you have the hammer and hook shot. Maybe it's one at top and one in tile room would do it.
Like if you need a third key in tile room to reach Ice Armors, then Ice Armors is not a logic either without Somalia.
Yeah, the only way I
We
could
are
think
not
of the only way I
in
could think of is top of GT has a key and tile room has a key. But by the time you've gotten to that point, you've already checked everything that you can get to.
Yeah,
So the most you
but
can do
I
is
think
like
if
skip
you
chess.
find like a glove in rand room,
Oh
you might
gosh.
not want to follow up on that if it is cane locked.
Can random room be cane locked in that regard?
Yeah, if a small key is in tile room or a compass room with a big key.
Who? Gosh, I have never thought about GT logic that far.
I have. I like key logic, so.
It's funny because I know Meyer logic front to back in HMG. I'm like the Meyer logic expert, but don't ask me about ICE or GT logic or TR logic.
Ice logic is just straight up bad and broken, almost.
Is it actually broken? I think GT is broken because it has that arbitrary rule of 3 at the top, which is not really necessary. It's just so you don't have hover seeds.
Yeah. And oh no.
Uh-oh. So that happens.
We tried to get a sword.
That happens when you get an up teleport instead of a down teleport.
And I hope we saved after Hera. But I don't. Maybe we.
I'm looking at the tracker, but I didn't.
Crystals?
I didn't check whether the crystals were collected or not. Did you see 4 crystals in the tracker?
I think I saw 4.
You save after Pod, right? Pod and Eastern, because it's only Hera that's lost.
Okay, we lost Hera, maybe.
If Lana Bean counted 3 crystals, Hera's the one. But you know what? Is like you already know where her sword is, and you already know that there's nothing on Moldorm. So you just do it later. There's really no incentive to doing it now. You can do it on the way to GT, for example. Kiebs didn't find anything in King's Tomb, so all he has to do is DMD again. It's minimal time lost. We can consider this again giving some time back to Amarith for crashing. And pretend it didn't happen. I think it's reasonable to say that you would do Hera and then go straight down the mountain and not save and quit.
Yes.
It's fast. Fastest
what I would
way
have
to do
done.
it. You only don't do that if you're scared of hard locking. So hopefully Obscure or Kiebs knew what went wrong here. This is one where you want to be just absolutely sure you're on the right pixel before you do the teleport. Because if you do the up teleport, you don't have a whole lot of time to react to stop holding that diagonal. Because holding that diagonal will just put you directly into the hard lock.
I see. I'm a bit sad that we are not in GT, because I was excited about Key Logic. But, I mean, this is a play that is perfectly fine too. I don't know, what would you have done, Malmo?
What would I have done? I would have done GT, but I would have full cleared it because I don't know the key logic. But I would still do it. The GT comes with the baggage of doing Escape after and Pyramid Fairy, whereas Thieves Town comes with the baggage of doing Overworld. I disagree with doing this first because I think there's no reason to put off Thieves when you're right next to it. You already have the hammer. And if you find your go mode there, you can just skip this entirely. The nice thing about Thieves is you can route it into Desert.
I feel like I picked up on there being a divide that some people say delay GT as much as you can, and some people as soon as you have anything, you go to GT.
That will never change. GT is always going to be a matter of personal preference, and there are going to be seeds that favor one side versus the other.
It was just funny to me that there was such strong opinions, like, oh yeah, never do that first, it's terrible. And some people say, oh, you go there as soon as you can, dude.
My GT philosophy is if I have access to one of the halves and can climb, I'll go for it.
Yeah.
With the caveat of I also have a good weapon for Armos. But that kind of falls into the can climb because I'm probably not climbing without a bow. Yeah, but the thing is that the GT Vicky can just be early. And go moding GT is a huge time save. It's like go moding Pod. It's either a huge time save or no difference from full clearing it. Depending on where that big key gets placed.
That's right. But if you go there before you find the cane, you don't have to do the right side. Saving huge amount of times. It looks like Amarith is temporarily back on there. At least I have a still image of them
You're getting,
in the East Dark Death Mountain.
You're getting Amarith back sooner than I am.
Yeah, the packet says, transmitted through Sweden to Malmo. I don't know where you actually are.
Where I am? I'm in San Francisco. Couldn't be farther from Malmo except for being in Australia, probably. It's an 11-hour flight. I can tell you that.
Alright, that's shorter than Australia.
Yes.
I've traveled to Australia a lot, and it is.
Oh, that sounds awful. I'm sorry.
It is.
Not being in Australia, but
actually make my watch go away on my phone, because if I see it, I start looking at it and I get claustrophobic, because you have to be in this closed space for 20 hours.
That's a long time. Not even a layover?
Well, there's a layover, but like
Still
the total traveling time is like 25 hours.
The classic no glove Thieves Town for Kiebs.
Oh no, that's just such a hard thing to remember.
You have to remember on the way back, too.
I use mirror. It's actually quicker to mirror from the cell.
Is it?
Yeah. Unless you need to check the big chest.
That's crazy. I had no idea. That's only if you're...
in this particular case.
Only if you're going all the way around the rock. That's completely news to me. It's good to know, though. It looks cool.
Oh, it is several seconds.
Wow. That's amazing.
Kiebs is now losing to someone who does that.
It wouldn't have even occurred to me to do that.
Yeah, but if you can lift the rock, it is quicker. So let's lift the rock. Or if you find a small key in the cell and needs to check the big chest. We are at exactly 999 rupees.
We've been at 999 for a very long time. It's almost
One
like
more
it's...
And we get lag or something? I don't know.
You actually get less lag if you get one more, I think.
Oh,
Although
okay.
I'm not sure if that's true for the 1,000 rupee cap rather than the 9999 rupee cap. I think you generally don't want high digit numbers. I love that we're talking about HUD lag in a randomizer. It's great. This is an exciting race. We're talking about HUD lag. What's next? Pumping. Let's talk about pumping.
No. No. When I pump, I lose time. And I still do it. End of my story. Well, Kiebs found no progression in Peace Town. That's what we are down to HUD lag. And it looks like Kiebs is gonna continue with the overworld checks.
Let's see if Kiebs is going for a teleport that requires a quick hop.
Ooh.
Oh, maybe not. They're going for the irregular teleport. That's not a good place to transition, but I think you can go up. Oh no, you can't.
Uh-oh.
That's glitch jail. It's surprisingly easy to get glitch jailed in that spot. If you go too far,
to do is you just go straight down.
Yeah, if you're doing that clip, you have to go straight down. But if you're doing the one with the quick hop, you actually do have to correct a little bit.
Nice.
But if you correct too far, then you map wrap and get stuck in the wall at pod, which is merciful because if you didn't get stuck in the wall, you could hard lock.
And we are forgetting slightly that we have the flute and dashing to Carrick. Oh, it's not activated. We forgot to activate it after Thieves Town.
Oh.
Classic.
I don't think it's worth activating now. Go to GT. Everything beyond this point is just pendants anyway.
Amarith is temporarily back
Alright,
in pod with lamp and silvers.
Alright.
And has how many crystals?
The tracker says 3. Which makes me think that there was... Well... Hopefully there wasn't like a crash that lost progress. Because this does feel like it's pretty behind. Actually, I guess it's not that behind.
I think they used the Dark Death Mountain before pod. I think that's what happened.
Oh, Amarith did GT. And didn't find Cane or Fire Rod. So now we know. GT is empty except for maybe Fire Rod and Tile Room.
And didn't do the climb.
Oh no, maybe
there was no fire source.
Maybe I'm wrong about GT being done. I don't know how to read Code Tracker because I see Ganon lit up. And Ganon lit up, I don't know what that means, but Aghanim with the GT sign under it is not lit up, but I don't know if that means Aga 1 or Aga 2.
I don't know either. But they couldn't have done the climb without the lamp and pod.
That would explain the time difference. You wouldn't do the climb, but you would do the basement, which Kiebs is in now.
The stream seems to have a lot of frames right now, at least. So.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can pull it back then.
Oh, we get to see Kiebs GT here. Hopefully, we get some answers.
Oh, just when I pull it back, we get a still image of Hornet and Pod.
It's when you restream, it crashes.
Yeah, that's how it works. I'm not allowed to watch Amarith.
But I don't think Amarith has been in GT
because the cane is here.
Fire shield.
And the cane that Kiebs just found. What? What was that?
What just happened?
Okay, so I know what happened. Kiebs got a pit dash, a pit state dash. And when you are pit dashing, that is you're dashing while sharing a tile with a pit, you ignore collision. And Kiebs got clipped into that block. I almost feel like there's some glitch potential there, but mostly it's just using NMG to do Torches 1 more efficiently.
That's amazing.
Next time you see somebody do Torches 1 in NMG, pay attention to how they dash seemingly through a pot. They're actually hard dashing through a pot because the collision just isn't there when you're in the pit state. Alright. We're getting some info from Amarith stream. I can tell you her tracker is...
There's a third key, which doesn't really matter now since we have Samaria and Ice Armors is now in Logic.
It means that we might want to start thinking about whether Tile Room is a key or not.
It doesn't have to be. It could be, but it doesn't have to be since we got 3 keys in the front.
Oh, right. Yeah, we're already here with 2. If you really wanted to gamble, you could climb anyway and just see if the 4th key shows up in the top, and if it doesn't, then you just know by elimination that it has to be in Tile Room. But that's a risk.
We haven't found a big key yet, though, I think. Or did I miss that?
We did. The big key was in the Stalfos room alongside the cane.
Oh, okay. Okay. Easy. That means the climb is in Logic then. All that remains is the Moldom chest. And I guess it's all in Logic then, since the small key can't be in Compass Room.
Well,
so we are going to get the 4 keys.
It can be in Tile Room now. Alright, that's it for Amarith's stream. We'll bring her back if she turns up again.
Yeah, and Lana is correct. Like, we don't even care about Compass Room at this point, since Go mode is Fire Rod.
You could do TR a little more safely now. That's not a good glove to see. You don't glove to see it.
You always remember your first glove, is what I say.
I'm just going a little bit low on that Joe Mimics. It's an interesting Mimic strat. Mimics 2.
Fire Rod Go mode. Do you just skip the entire Haru Castle?
Well, what is left in terms of crystals? Because it looks like you don't have any left except TR, and TR without Fire Rod is really no better than doing Hyrule Castle. You could argue that the big key needs to be searched, but you can just not find it because the big key can be Fire Rod locked. Desert Palace is not an item. We've already found both in there, so it's just cleanup. In fact, you want to do it either after Go mode or when you're ready to do Pendant Mire. Tower of Hera was also already done, but Kiebs hard locked it away, so unless there's an item in the big chest, which the tracker indicated there wasn't, then that's also a dead check. So yeah, I would say Hyrule Castle is a good time for it.
It just doesn't feel fire roddy, you know?
It doesn't feel fire roddy. I think it's going to be on Uncle. Fire rod on Uncle. How many times have you had your go mode on Uncle? If you haven't had your
Sphere
go...
1?
Yeah. Have you not had go mode Uncle yet?
I don't think so.
Oh, you haven't been playing enough glitched yet.
I see.
Alright, yeah, drink the potion. Good call.
Yeah, these rooms are, you know, one of the... This whole series of rooms are some of the hardest in the game to get consistent.
And it's also hard
full of RNG.
If you're used to having Fire Rod in Gauntlet 5, that can be troublesome as well. There's a strat with the arrow that requires some Stealthless RNG to line up, but usually works. But if you don't know that strat, then you're just going to be doing what Kiebs did, which honestly wasn't too bad. Got both hits in pretty quickly. Just had to adjust movement to get out. Wow. How did that miss?
Landmo, please. And no, we have not checked Pyramid Fairy yet. Or Pyramid, for that matter. Fire could just be sitting there on Pyramid Ledge. Alright, Amarith is temporarily back in Eastern. No Fire Rod on their side.
You're always the first to know. I get an ad.
I don't get ads on Amarith's channel for some reason.
Weird. You're not.
Must be must be
non-US.
Non-US ads are non-existent, I guess.
The Swedish ads are more blockable somehow.
I'm not the target audience for Amarith ads.
So Amarith has just finished Eastern Palace. And is now fluting up the mountain.
Right, if they just go to GT, they are not actually far behind here, because they have done Thieves Town. And it's just a GT clear behind in this scenario. And this does look like a GT play from Amarith. They go into the Darkworld portal here with the camera offset.
Now, while it's not that much of a difference, Amarith will find go mode here because Kiebs just found the Fire Rod. But Amarith has also done Tower of Hera, and Kiebs has to redo it. Now, it's still a lot, because it's still all of GT basement. And all of the climb, and that's a lot slower than Hera, but it's not too bad.
It's about a computer crash behind.
Don't tell me that. We're not supposed to talk about that, because Kiebs lost time in Swamp, and they canceled out.
Oh, yeah,
if we acknowledge the crash, we have to acknowledge Kiebs missing Diver down and having to farm bombs.
Yes.
I know those things aren't equivalent, but it's very sad when somebody loses because of a crash.
Yeah, it is upsetting to everyone. It's not great, but...
No, it's a shame that...
Luckily, it doesn't happen too much.
It's a shame that the Fire Rod isn't... Like, you still have to clear the basement of GT no matter what, because of where the Fire Rod is. You're never going to skip this. Amarith could skip Tile Room if she wants to gamble. We'll see how Mentor Krubble says about Krubble's chest.
Kiebs, yeah, skipped the Tile Room, right? Pretty sure. And yeah, we've got both gloves in GT as well. That's hilarious. And they need it for nothing. Wait.
The gloves make...
we're not checking Pyramid Ledge? I guess it's checked?
They're in go mode.
Oh, in go mode.
The Fire Rod is upstairs.
I am dumb.
It's okay. It's easier, you hit go mode and it takes you like It always takes me like 2 minutes to register the item I just got.
And we have Tempered Sword and Silver, so there's no need to check anything really.
Oh, interesting.
Just rush the
Amarith
bosses.
doesn't have Tempered Sword.
Tempered Sword was on Bumpy Ledge.
Yeah, I wonder why. She must have just not done it. Maybe did a different Darkhold route that ended at Thieves Town, or started at Thieves Town and went south, perhaps, and just never hit that area. Bumper Ledge can be done with Skull Woods later, and then Fire Rod Go mode, you're just never doing it.
Which is not too big of a deal with Silvers at hand. You're gonna have a little bit tougher second phase of Ganon, but I think that's a wash in the end.
So we did lose Amarith again, but at least we know how the rest of the seed's going to look for her, because she'll find Go mode up here, follow the same path Kiebs is following, just be a few minutes behind.
So what is the best route here in TR when you're in Go mode in overworld glitches?
If you ask me, I'm just always going to mirror wrap. But it's actually...
You mirror wrap and go backwards.
You mirror wrap and then when you find the big key, you just mirror back to Laser Bridge.
But then the big key can never be in the back.
No. So what you do is you open Laser Bridge until you find a small key. And then you open Crystal Ruler Room, because it might be a small key. And then you go straight to Big Key Chest and Chain Chomps and so on.
What do you do if Laser Bridge doesn't have a small key?
You just assume the small key's in front. The good thing is that when you go backwards, you aren't opening any doors except for the one after Chain Chomps. So you can actually go all the way through to Chain Chomps without collecting any keys. But if you find the big key, you need one key to get to Trinex. Oh, you could have splashed down Kiebs. Looks like Kiebs was trying to maybe go mirror wrap. It's hard to tell. But I'm saying that, that's what I would do because I'm pretty rigid in my routing. I'm not very creative. But there are things you can do where you open the front of TR. If your next dungeon is Skullwoods, you can clip to Skullwoods from TR. It's a little bit risky, but that would be the fastest way to do it, is open the front of TR, hope the big key's in the front,
love that clip.
and then do the clip to Skull. But Skull's a pendant, so there's no opportunity to do that in this seed.
Yeah.
So I think you just mirror wrap. The reason I think you mirror wrap is you do it in the speedrun, but the speedrun puts the big key in the first available location. Whereas if it's like all the way in the fire locked room, it could be a little slower to mirror wrap, but it's only slower conditionally, so it's like, I don't know. I think it's just better overall.
The mirror wrap is definitely faster than if the big key is vanilla.
Yes, so the speedrun would do it differently.
But that's a 1 in 5 chance. Oh my god, we get it.
We did it. You need a key.
But now we don't have a key.
This is why you open Chain Chomps and Crystal Roller on the way, because then you don't want to be in this situation where.
So I think either you go through the front or the back, I guess.
The thing is that the reason mirror wrap is good is because when you mirror back, you're right there. You're right there at Trinex. Whereas when you're doing it from the middle or from the front, you have to get to Trinex from the middle, and that's really slow. That's probably slower than just doing mirror wrap and going backwards.
Or if you find the big key in the front, you can use the exit and then do the mirrorless wrap.
And that's when it's the only time it's faster, and that's why I only do that if Skullwoods is next.
Someone needs to sit down and do the math for.
Yeah, definitely time it.
Time every possible route and calculate.
I guess what you could say is that the mirror wrap is the low variance way to do it. If you're going to lose time, you're not losing that much time, and you're usually saving time.
With mirror wrap, you know what you're getting.
How do Kiebs end up with 2 keys? Oh, I guess you get the
big
key.
Chest.
You get the big chest. Oh, because we went through the middle.
Yep.
That's the other way. Is if you're coming in from the middle, and you're taking this path, you do need 2 keys to get through.
And we get to skip Laser Bridge entirely. Wondrous. So I had the pleasure of doing Master Sword, Hammerless, Potionless Trinex in my race this week. And it caught me completely by surprise, because I've never done that before. But Kiebs is having tempered, easy piece of cake.
Oh no. Oh no, Amarith. Amarith is in top of GT.
Oh, nice.
So a couple dungeons behind. Actually Desert is still... Desert is done for Kiebs. I didn't realize that. I completely missed that. It must have been very quick.
An Aga fight and TR behind.
Well, and Amarith hasn't done Desert, so it is 3 dungeons. Well, it's like the rest of this dungeon plus 2.
Okay, yeah.
It's quite a bit behind. I would say that's more than Crash length. But it's hard to know what caused her to fall behind.
I would be pretty upset by my streaming situation, and that would affect me probably.
That's a good point.
In a situation.
You could be having tilt problems, or just distraction. Constantly having to restart your stream is a bit of a mental load.
Fighter Sword, 1.5 heart Trinex. Sounds great. Yeah, we're gonna fight Ganon now. After 1 hour. This is a very quick one. 1 hour, 19 minutes.
It is very quick.
I've seen a wide range of seeds this week.
Well, what this was it was a no pendant seed, and a no castle, which is the other pendant. So
yeah, the castle takes like 20 minutes.
It's a lot. That's why you put it off forever. Misses the 1/1, unfortunately, but it's not really that big a deal. You just get an extra phase 1 cycle. Gets the nice warp. Although any position would have been fine with the cape. This one you can turn your brain off and just spin it in the corner.
But then you have to escape without taking damage, or we used to have red mail.
Ooh. Oh, if it weren't for that errant fire rod shot, that would have been a good torch glitch freeze for Ganon. You don't normally go for torch glitch in the Silvers fight, but if hitting it will freeze Ganon near you, it's actually worth it. That was otherwise a very good fight.
GG's to Kiebs. And Obscure, the mentor. An official race time of 1:20.49. Gets the win. Got him, indeed.
Amarith looks like she is in Aghanim. But also, like, her timer is behind, so she's actually a little ahead of what she looks like. We're seeing her about a minute in the past. So Amarith will be finishing this out. It is in your best interest to finish out your seeds if you can finish within 15 minutes of your opponent for seeding purposes. The Swiss will go into a bracket. Week 7 will begin the bracket. The bracket will be a best of 3 elimination bracket for just HMG. So it'll just be purely the last mode in the tournament. Usually once people play HMG, that becomes their default mode, so... Well, unless they're playing no logic.
I think we got a Kiebs here with us.
GG Kiebs.
GG.
Thanks. Thank you.
It's a pretty friendly seed.
Yeah, it really wasn't too bad. I just want to say I did get 8 crystals.
You got 8 crystals.
So
yeah, you did. That's true. At least it was a quick 8th crystal.
yeah, I was looking at my tracker and I was like, didn't I do Hera? Like, I could have sworn I did Hera. But yeah, that'll teach me to not save.
Do you know what went wrong on that teleport?
I assumed that I went up instead of down.
Correct.
Yeah,
You don't get a lot of time to react to that up teleport, so that's one where you really do want to like look at your cube before you do the teleport just to make sure you're on it.
I do get them backwards quite a bit, and for some reason I have no idea why. So that happens more often than I'd like to admit.
So Amarith is a little behind, in part because our computer crashed. But
Oh, no.
It's hard to know what else might have set her back. So it's a little bit more time than that. Maybe it's just having to restart stream over and over again. But she does have Desert. Well, she's done Desert. She just has TR left.
Yeah, we haven't been able to see a whole lot from Amarith's side, sadly.
It looked like she mostly followed your route, at least in the Dark World.
Yeah, missed out on the sword and bumper ledge though.
Yeah, I wanted to check those because if I only got Fire Rod for some reason, we were gonna try to hover to Trinex, but then found Kane early. So I was trying to find just Fire Rod wherever I could, and hadn't done Graveyard Legend King's Tomb, so it just kind of made sense to do the auto walk thing down to that area and get all 3 of those items before Thieves.
So this was the first week without a sword. How did that change the way you routed this?
Well, I've played two seeds to practice without the sword, and the swords haven't been in terrible places. And I've heard that from some mentors that typically, even when you're not guaranteed a sword, you're gonna find one early. So what that did was, like, I knew I wasn't gonna go up the mountain unless I got a bunch of hearts in CAC. But really, I just wanted to do the standard kind of Sphere 0 and hope for the best, and then determine the route from there. So if I had found a bow, we would have gone to Eastern and done that without a sword, because I'd prefer to do that without a sword than try to clip the Hera while cabbages are raining on my head. Because I'm okay, but I'm not that fast or fast enough to guarantee that I'm not going to get bullied. So I was going to give myself every possible chance to find a sword before going to the mountain. And luckily there was one within 4 minutes this seed, so
yeah,
it wasn't too bad.
One thing I like to advise in playing glitch modes is when the route you choose should play to your strengths. In no glitches, you have a lot less flexibility on choosing a route, but in glitch modes, you have a lot. And you're going to get the most bang out of your buck just from playing a route that you can perform well.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
I sure hope there's a key on Laser Bridge. Oh, there isn't. Apparently, Amarith actually spent it here just to make sure that she had access to Laser Bridge. This is a little risky to do that, because if you actually needed to go beyond Chain Chomps, you might have had to go back to the big chest or go in through the front. You could get a medallion lock TR.
So this is a very relevant question then, because I was asking Obscure while I was in TR. How do you actually route TR?
I just always mirror wrap.
If you have you have everything, do you just mirror wrap the Laser Bridge and then go through the back until you find the big key and then mirror?
I always do, but I don't know if that's the correct answer. I don't think anyone's actually timed doing it any other way. It's going to depend on where the big key is and whether you're doing Skull Woods after. You can
we actually discussed this, since I had the same question.
Yeah.
I think from our conversation, in the speedrun, you mirror wrap because the big key is vanilla. So I assume that's, if it's there, it's quickest to mirror wrap. But other than that, we don't know. At least I don't know.
I still think it's faster, just because if you're mirror wrapping, you can just mirror back to Laser Bridge and don't have to get there by some other means. But if the big key is in the front and you're doing Skull Woods next, then you can make an argument for opening the front and hoping it's there. You have 3 chances for it to be there, 3 out of 5. And then doing the mirror wrap or the mirrorless wrap. And then walking out of the front and clipping the skull. Or in overall glitches, just Catfish DMD to pod. That's something I saw in a daily race the other week.
Yeah, I was originally going to do that when I went to Catfish, and then realized, I can just full clear Swamp and pick Swamp first. Which luckily did, but there was a bow and pod anyway, so would have gotten bailed out. We
were actually a little surprised to see you skip Zora when you were at Catfish. Was that forgotten, or did you deliberately skip that?
That is a great question. I forgot that I didn't do it, and it was already dead to me. I probably was never going back there.
Well, it was definitely dead to you after you skipped it. That was pretty clear.
Yeah, when I didn't have money the first time and checked the ledge already, I would have gotten there in another 40 minutes if I still hadn't found Fire Rod or something. So. And honestly forgot about it until you just said something. So.
We might be losing Amarith for the Ganon fight, unfortunately.
So how are you liking the glitch tournament so far, Kiebs?
It's been fantastic. I've gotten to work with different people each week, which was kind of my intent. I just kind of wanted to get some different experiences. I had zero knowledge coming into this, other than some random stuff that you learn while sitting there in multi-worlds, which had literally taken me like 30 minutes to figure out one clip. So yeah, this is all like super new. It's actually really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I haven't learned any HMG yet, though. Though last night I did clip from Hera to Swamp one time. So we're getting there.
That's all you need, right?
Yeah, I was like, I don't. Flipio was showing me last night, so. Yeah, I still don't understand how I'm going to use it, but I haven't watched any of the tutorial VODs and stuff like that, so that's my homework for this week.
The hardest part
overall,
of HMG,
it's been a great experience.
The hardest part of HMG is not the clips; it's learning how to do Swamp, because it's complicated and not entirely intuitive. For example, it's not obvious that the Swamp front stays flooded if you save and quit to Mountain and clip to Hera. That's just... That was not known for the longest time in the vanilla community until Balayame discovered it by accident.
Say that again.
When
The
you...
front of Swamp stays flooded if you save and quit and clip to Hera.
So what you do is, if you don't have the mirror...
If you save and quit from where?
From
Anywhere.
the dam. So you go inside the dam and you flood it and you save and quit to the mountain. And the reason is that the only thing that resets that dam is an overworld screen transition or a flute or a console reset. But a save and quit is fine. A save and quit will preserve that state.
So you don't need, and that's why you don't need mirror for Swamp.
Exactly. You just save and quit and go to Hera. And Amarith did finish within the 15 minutes, which is good. At 132.22.
And hello, Amarith. How's it going? GG's.
GG's. Funny seed.
GG.
That was a bit unfortunate on your end, but you got through it anyway, so huge props. I hope it didn't, like the unfortunate technical issues didn't tilt you too much.
It usually doesn't, unless it's like near the end and I lost a lot of like progress on it. I was just like, eh. It was just the time that it took, which was I think like 6 minutes, which I still lose by anyway, so. May have changed like a couple decisions here and there, but like it didn't really affect too much, I don't think.
It was hard to tell what set you behind beyond that. It's because we couldn't see a lot of your play. But were there any checks that you did that you felt like may have slowed you down?
Just losing Grubba a little bit like here and there, where it was like, went to check the mire area and then come out of something, it was just like sitting there for like a minute, like, I don't know where it's safe to come out of on here, like...
Oh, I see. So
You really
like
just
losing
want
your
something
mentor
to
can be pretty disorienting at a critical moment.
Yeah, like... Yeah, when it's like, okay, we're taking the wreck, we're leaving, and where are you? Hello? How do I make sure I don't soft lock when I come out of here?
The good thing is that most of the teleports out are safe. And if you're not able to teleport, then, you know, you'll just, at worst, get soft locked. As long as you're in that, like, I think the most common place to teleport out is that checkerboard cave area, and it's just a third bump down tele. And the only way you can really fail that is by soft locking in the wall. And it's not the end of the world to get back. Gloveless
Did you
hookshot
end on
cape
the
can
Master
be.
Sword as well?
Yeah, so the tempered was on.
Tempered.
The tempered was on bumper ledge.
Ah,
And Kiebs actually hardlocked
Yeah.
going for that and lost Hera. I had to go back.
Yeah, I up teleported and wrapped the screen and then just like went for a marathon. So
For a marathon.
yeah. I was thinking about considering the crash time, like our time difference. I was like, you had to have found another sword somewhere, I bet, just because like the combat advantage that tempered gives over master is just so great. It's like you can really make up a lot of time just having a sword difference.
Especially with the remaining bosses being Trinex and Ganon and even Lanmo.
Mhm.
Well, I guess he had silvers. But Trinex is a big difference. So yeah, have you been liking the tournament so far? Are you
Well,
ready
I've
for
been having a blast.
HMG?
I'm ready to go places in weird caves and end up in other places.
Heck yeah. That's the spirit. So unless you have anything more to say, that will be all for this stream. That'll be all for today. Tomorrow we have a couple races on the board and maybe one on the way. We have Angles versus Picks at the same time, 3 Eastern. And at 2 Eastern, we have Dr. Earworm versus 2C. Keep an eye out also for Plasma Snake versus Lucian Greeth, who have not scheduled a match yet, but it would be tomorrow if they did.
There's a couple exciting ones though.
Yeah, I won't be able to restream them because I'll actually be mentoring in one of them, but I might podcast it later on if it looks like an exciting one. Otherwise, this is a really good time to start learning HMG if you haven't already. If you want to get a head start on that, you can ping for a mentor to help you out through a seed, or watch the tutorial video linked in chat.
It's just 4 clips.
It's just 4 clips, forehead. All right, bye everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
thanks for putting it on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.